Welcome back to Simple Pilot Solutions. Today we're going to look into what METARs are and how we can read them. I will be using example METARs found in the Private Pilot Written Test Supplement, but the information can be applied to any METAR you may need to read. METAR stands for Meteorological Aerodrome Report and is simply a weather report including key information you might need for a specific airport. It will give you information such as winds, cloud coverage, altimeter setting, and more for an airport. The first element will tell you if it is a normal METAR or a SPECI. If it says METAR at the start, then it is just a standard METAR with the conditions at the airport being relatively unchanged from when it was reported. If it says SPECI, which stands for Special Report, then the weather has either degraded or improved rapidly outside of the normal METAR reporting schedule. The FAA gives 12 categories for when a SPECI may be published. While it's not important to memorize each reason, you should have a basic understanding on why a SPECI might be published. Next will be the Station Identifier code. This METAR is for KINK, which is for the Winkler County Airport in Texas. After that, you will see the day and time the METAR was observed. The first two digits will be the day of the month it was observed. In this case, it was observed on the 12th day of the month. The 4 digits after that is the time of the day. It says 1845 with a Z on the end, meaning this report was observed at 1845 Zulu or 645 Zulu. Depending on your local area, you will either have to know your Zulu time or convert the METAR Zulu time into your local time. On real METARs, you will notice that most of them will say auto. This means that the METAR was made without any human intervention. If the METAR does not say auto, like shown on all of the ones we are given for the written test, then the report had human intervention. After that will be the winds. The first 3 digits is the direction the wind is coming from, rounded to the nearest tens of degrees from true north. The next 2 digits will be the speed the wind is going in knots. If after those 5 numbers it shows a capital G with 2 more numbers after the G, this is going to be what speed the wind is gusting up to. Reading our example, we can see that the winds are coming from 110 degrees true at 12 knots, gusting up to 18 knots. If the winds were calm, it would show 5 zeros instead. There is also the possibility of the winds coming from variable directions instead of one steady direction. In this case, the METAR can show one of 2 options. If the winds are under 6 knots from variable directions, or the system cannot determine where the winds are coming from, they will usually put VRB before the start of the winds, like it is shown here. If the wind is greater than 6 knots, then they will typically give you the range of where the wind is coming from. This will be put right after the wind section and will be true north headings with a V in between. So if we saw this on a METAR, then it will tell us that the wind is variable between 180 degrees and 220 degrees true north. After the wind, you will see the visibility in statute miles. It is shown as either a full number such as 30 or 6 like they give here in the written supplement, or as a fraction if the visibility is under 1 statute miles. You may also see both a full number and a fraction in the same METAR to show any visibility that falls between 2 full numbers. On this top line, it is showing that we have 15 statute miles of visibility, and on the bottom line here, it is showing that we only have half a mile of visibility, so we're probably not going to go flying on this day. Next will be the runway visual range, or RVR for short. We can think of this as the amount of feet we can see down the runway, which isn't exactly right as 1 statute mile is 5,280 feet, but only shown as 5,000 feet using RVR. And this is only used at airports that have the ability to actually report RVR, as it requires special equipment. It will be shown with a capital R followed by 2 numbers, which is the runway it is reporting for. Next to that, it will have a / with 4 numbers, standing for the feet we can see down the runway. In our example, it shows R04, so we are getting this reading from runway 4. Next, there is a / 2200, meaning we can see about 2,200 feet down the runway, or about half a statute mile, which if we look back, the visibility agrees with that. I would like to point out that on the METAR the FAA gives for the written, the RVR is put after the weather, which we will talk about next, but you will usually find it right after the visibility. Next is any weather which will be shown right after the visibility, or RVR. The most common ones you might see is rain, abbreviated to RA, and this might have either a negative sign before it, a positive sign before it, or nothing before it. If it has a negative sign, then it means we have light rain. If it doesn't have any sign, it means we have moderate rain. And if it has a positive sign, it means we have heavy rain. If it shows FG, then there is fog, and BR, which most people use the saying baby rain to remember, actually stands for mist. The last common one would be TS, which stands for thunderstorms. If there is no weather, then the report will skip over this section and go straight into the sky condition. The sky condition is really just what amount of the sky the clouds are covering and how high they are off the ground. If the system doesn't detect any clouds under 12,000 feet, then it will put SKC, standing for sky clear. If the clouds cover 1/8 to 2/8 of the sky, then it will be reported as few. If they cover 3/8 to 4/8, then it will be reported as SCT, standing for scattered. 5/8 to 7/8 is BKN, standing for broken. And lastly, if it covers the whole sky, then it will be put down as OVC, which is an overcast layer. After that, it will have 3 digits, which is the cloud height in hundreds of feet. If we look at the METAR, it shows SCT007, meaning there's a scattered layer at 700 feet, and SCT250, so there's another scattered layer above that at 25,000 feet. It's important to remember that the cloud height is in AGL, meaning it is giving you the distance they are above the ground at the airport. If there is heavy fog or any weather causing visibility to be extremely low on the ground, and there is no specific ceiling, then you might also see the cloud layer shown as a vertical visibility, which is 2 V's with 3 digits to the right of them. Those 3 digits are showing how many hundreds of feet you can see up. So if you saw a report that had VV001, it is telling you that you can only see 100 feet up. After that, we will see the temperature and dew point spread. This will be shown using 4 digits with a / in the middle. The 2 digits to the left of the slash will be the temperature in Celsius, and the 2 digits to the right of the slash will be your dew point in Celsius. On this METAR, it shows 25/17. We can read this as the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius and the dew point is 17 degrees Celsius. If the temperature or the dew point are negative, then they will be prefixed with an M. If we saw 02/M06, then we would know that the temperature is 2 degrees Celsius and the dew point is -6 degrees Celsius. The altimeter setting will be last and is shown with a capital A followed by the 4-digit altimeter setting. It leaves out the decimal point, but you can always add it in right in the middle of the 4 digits if you would like. We see A3000 on our example, so we know the altimeter setting is 30.00 inches of mercury. That finishes up the main part of a METAR, but a lot of them will have remarks at the end identified by RMK. I'm not going to cover most of the remarks you might see, but I will provide a link in the description to a METAR decoder provided by the National Weather Service that has most of the remarks you might see. The most common remark will be A02, which indicates that the automated station used to create the METAR can differentiate between different types of precipitation. The fourth METAR given for the written test also gives the remark RAB35, which indicates when rain began in minutes past the hour. In this case, it says that rain began 35 minutes past the hour this METAR was reported for.